This is big. DoorDash just expanded their Dasher Rewards pilot program to a lot of new marketplaces, maybe your city. We're going to go over that in this video. So if you don't know what the Dasher Rewards pilot program is, just think about Top Dasher, priority access to larger orders, we'll say DoorDash Drive, early access to scheduling, VIP support, all of that is gone. At least in the traditional sense. Let me show you what's changed. In June of 2023, DoorDash announced this Dasher Rewards pilot program, and it read, Dasher Rewards is currently being offered as a pilot program with certain rewards and features only available in the following locations. 3 markets initially: Grand Rapids, Michigan, Corpus Christi, Texas, and Lubbock, Texas. This program consolidates the following existing programs under one program with a unified qualification criteria across acceptance rate, completion rates, and customer ratings, and you can see the features listed down below. I'm going to show you the new marketplaces here in a second, but understand this is in essence 3 tiers to get access to basically all the benefits in those older programs. 3 levels: silver, gold, and platinum, to access the benefits in this Dasher Rewards program. 50% acceptance rate minimum for the Tier 1, we'll say the silver level. 90% completion rate, 4.5 customer rating, 50 plus lifetime deliveries. I don't think the other categories really matter. You shouldn't have any problem with a 90% completion rate. That's canceling in essence or not completing 10% of orders. 4.5 customer rating, that's fine. If you're getting lower than that, you probably need to work on customer service and understanding the platforms. We have a course, Mastering Delivery, if you want to learn those basics. But 50% AR for silver and 70% for gold and platinum, respectively. Just platinum gets a 5% bump in the completion rate. That and a 4.7 versus a 4.5, which again, really isn't going to make as much of a deal as that AR. So let me show you the new marketplaces affected. In yellow, the initial 3 marketplaces in June of 2023. So I just noticed this here in October of 2023. Here's the new marketplaces: Raleigh, Allentown, Lancaster, Columbus, Nashville, Eugene, Miami, Bowling Green, Chattanooga, Ocala, Lawton, Muskegon, Reading, Lima, York, Salem, Morristown, Greenville, Dover, Mankato, Milwaukee, and East Bay. Then look at the populations here. Let's try to get an idea of which marketplaces, size, anything that we can attest to which marketplaces are getting this and getting this next. I only showed you the initial qualification criteria here, how to get silver, gold, and platinum. Look at these benefits, because if you just got this, or if you think you might get this, these are going to be the benefits for those 3 tiers. So silver, gold, and platinum, just starting from the top, working our way down here, and how important I feel these are. Number 1, priority access to high paying orders. There you go. Again, priority access, Top Dasher, all of this, it's rolled into this one Dasher Rewards pilot program. So if you have a 50% AR, which is actually the current non-pilot program criteria for priority access to higher paying orders, we've confirmed, by the way, here in October, that DoorDash did say again, these are orders that are paying at least $2 per mile in total pay. So if you have silver at that 50% AR, you get the first level of priority access. Remember, on the initial priority access, there's only 2 steps, 2 tiers. There's 50% and there's 70% to get the highest priority. Now, with 50%, you just have tier 1 of 3 levels here. Nextly, advanced scheduling, schedule dashes up to 6 days in advance. I don't think this is huge for gold and platinum dashers. It's just going to allow you, especially in, I'd say, more competitive marketplaces, combined if there's good peak pay, and you can actually make, good money. It's not just like fake peak pay. It actually keeps you busy. There's actually orders. Then that's when that might come into play. Next, the VIP support, again, for gold and platinum dashers there. Same kind of thing. I think that's even less of a perk than the advanced scheduling. How often are you going to have to even contact support? Once every what do you think? 1,000 deliveries or something? It's nice to have. Moving on. This is pretty big though. Access to large orders. That's in essence the DoorDash Drive catering program, which is what? That's always been invites only via email. You can't get in to deliver larger catering orders. Number one, obviously they need you to have a catering bag, right? That's a given. But number two, it's been invite only. So now, really, as I'm understanding this, the only ones that get access to DoorDash Drive or access to large orders, catering orders, are Platinum Dashers that have a 70% AR, 95% completion rate. Now, I don't know. Again, you can help me out if you have the Dasher Rewards program in your marketplace. Do they still send out invites, or is that completely gone? You know, Dashers that aren't Platinum, but for whatever reason, they've been on the wait list for a while, do they still get invites? And then Dash Anytime, it says hit the road without having to schedule in advance. Not just that, but you can dash in gray zones. So you know when it's busy, it's red, darker red, really dark, it says busy, very busy. Ideally, there's peak pay. So if it's not busy enough, then that zone can be gray, you know, the subsection in your marketplace. Or if it's really busy, but they have enough dashers, either currently online or scheduled, then it could be gray as well. So with Dash Anytime, you can do just that. You can go online in gray zones. Obviously, that's not going to be helpful whatsoever if it's gray because it's dead slow, because you'll find that out really quickly. How are you going to know? You're going to have to use your expertise. You know, is there peak pay? Is it on a weekend and in the evening? Okay, it's probably busy. Then I want to dash anytime versus like a Tuesday at 3 p.m. It's great because it's dead slow. By the way, here's an example of what the orders are going to look like on this new Dasher Rewards pilot program. So before this, it would basically be priority access, and that would get you access to higher paying offers. It would be a blue card. It'd look like this. But in these marketplaces, again, it's silver priority, it is gold higher priority, or it is platinum highest priority. I said this, listen to this. Drop a like on this video, by the way. Check out yourdrivermike.com. Get our earnings tracking spreadsheet and our side hustle starter guide if you want to actually track your earnings here. But I've said, then in essence, if you don't have at least silver, then it's assumed you're fourth in line for high paying orders, because if there's a platinum dasher on, they're going to get it first. If there's a gold, if there's a silver online near that restaurant, you'd assume they have priority if they're not on an assignment. And then you. Is this rewards program worth it to get the benefits of really everything combined into one program? Silver's pretty good, but gold and platinum, you get even more benefits. Consider this, that the silver level with 50% AR, it's the same exact thing as priority access. You don't get any other benefits for silver. You just get initial priority to higher paying orders, which is exactly like the initial priority access, the tier 1 priority. So I'll ask you this, is going for priority access on 50% AR worth it? If that's not worth it in your marketplace, then this in general isn't worth it, because the initial lowest tier is 50% AR for priority access. All this stuff just comes down to math. So mathematically, if I can take a little bit of a loss, maybe 15%, 35% of my orders are worth it, 15% I take a little bit of a loss. If it's a huge loss, then the math doesn't make sense. It's too much of a loss. But if I get a 15% cut to get then 25% even higher orders, that I've made a 10% net gain on my overall earnings. I feel like that's extremely hard to track on your own, just top of mind. Like, well, last week seemed pretty good, but the week prior I accepted some bad orders. Like mathematically, you'd really have no idea after a month or so trying to keep track of all that. That's why we have that earnings tracking spreadsheet. You can get it. You can decide on some other way to track your numbers, but you got to track your numbers if you're going to go for something like this. Let's talk about big gold and platinum though. So if you got to bump your AR to 70%, then there really has to be a margin. So 70% AR, then the math would probably have to say at least 50%, 60% of your orders are worth it. They hit our minimum or at least our floor. So 175 ideally, 120 is our rock bottom floor per mile pay there. and then you take a loss on what, 10%, 15%, but then you get access to the, let's say, drive program on the platinum level. Simply put, I will tell you flat out, it just comes down to math. Are there more miles for those worse orders? The dollars per mile, is it worth it? But then I get like crazy $7 per mile payouts, $5 per mile payouts. I'll get a $100 payout catering run per week, and that makes the losses worth it, right? It just comes down to math. But on the simple base level here, for silver level, if you're seeing this and it's new in your marketplace, just consider that. In my markets, before is 50% an acceptable acceptance rate.